साई माता पिता दिन बंधु शका तेरे शरण में हमारा कोटि कोटि प्रणाम. Let me thank each and every one of the holiest souls who wish this world to be happy at any point of time. I mean, needless to say, I am from the south of India with little or lesser Hindi pronunciation or Hindi knowledge. When I moved over to from south to north, I had a kind of a dilemma. A dilemma is whom I should pray. Whether I should pray being a South Indian, having brought in a religious way to chant some slokas without knowing the meaning of the slokas, or to follow some who as a guru, who as a guru mata, who as a guru pita friend, to follow the route. I'm now here reminded of a very small story, very small anecdote which I just want to share. There was a very good pravachan happening on Ramayana. A very good guru, a guru who's known and well versed in Ramayana. And there are a lot of gathering like what we have assembled today here. There are more than the hall is full. So the guru mentioned there are two idols outside. When you go out, please pick one of them. One idol is of Rama, the other idol is of Ravana. So whoever want to pick up whatever idol, please pick it up. So everybody listened, pravachan over. Then the Guruji asked everybody, so which idol you want to pick? What would be the answer? Everybody said Rama. Hang on. Here there is one catch. That idol of Ravana is a 24 karat gold. The idol of Rama is made of mud. Which one you want to pick up now? Then everybody said, there was steady silence. Guruji, Rama to Rama hai, omnipresent hai. Rama dil mein hai. Ravan ko gar le jate hum. इनको बदलने की कोशिश करेंगे हम, उनको प्रार्थना करेंगे हम. So this is the kind of duvida I went through when I actually was moving from a traditional religious South Indian to a human, and today to stand as somebody who believes in spirituality than religiousness. My journey in this kind is not so easy or not so rough either. It is both the ways. Sometimes rough, sometimes smooth, sometimes blissful, sometimes contentful, but ever always longing for. I had worked with a very big multinational company. I had a lot of connects and a lot of overseas travels. In a month, Bhavan, my guru, made me travel for more than 20-25 days to all across the world, deep down to Africa, to US, to Europe, to X, to Y, to Z. At one point of time in 1998, I had a chance to go to Shirdi. And that was my first visit for Puttaparthi also. When I went to Shirdi, when I actually went into the first darshan, there was heavy crowd in Shirdi and I was standing at the corner and I was having a severe toothache. And at the time, I never had any feel of Shirdi Sai Baba or Satya Sai Baba. I only know Murugan, I only know Ganeshi, I only know, we are getting into this dilemma. If I pray Mataji, Shiva will open his third eye. If I pray Shiva, Hanuman will lift his gada. If I pray Hanuman, Ram will get upset. If I pray Ram, Krishna is going to come and blow his flute on my ears. So this kind of a various confusion into various forms. When I actually landed in Shirdi, when I was in the last of the last in the row, as the last person to get entered, suddenly my tooth pain vanished. And I was not interested in either the arati or anything. I was standing there as a human, trying to kill the time of when this arati is going to get over. When the arati was over, when people are allowed to go through the shrine, when I went near the Shirdi shrine, the Panditji, who was standing close to Baba's statue, took a garland from Baba and threw it straight to me. I thought he is throwing it to someone who's behind me. It fell onto my chest, and since it was very warm, my shirt first button was open. It fell into my chest straight. So I took it, I looked at the Panditji and asked him, is it meant for someone else? The Panditji told me, no, this is meant for you. Keep it with you. That moment, the first melting started. Then I went into Puttaparthi, my first darshan. My dear brothers and sisters, when I was actually sitting in the fourth row, when Satya Sai Baba came first time and had a darshan, My first question to him was, are you an arms dealer? आप हथियार बेचने वाले हो क्या? Because I was carried by the impressions of Chandra Swami, I was carried by the impressions of many other wealth-oriented people. So very fortunate that there is no security officers close by who was to bundle me out of the Kulwant Hall, which is supposed to be the place where you go and worship and pray. And Baba looked at me, walked away. I was not convinced that he is God. I said, okay, I've come here. My wife was a student. And I walked out. Next day, again I went for darshan. Not interested. In the early morning, Swami comes and gives darshan and goes back. After some time, people go for the nice breakfast outside for a hot idli and vada. That day I wanted to go, but something made me stand. And within half an hour, Swami came out. Baba came out. He came walking and came near to me and said, hey, काय के लिए चिल्लाता है? आत्मिक डीलर हूं मैं, आर्म्स डीलर नहीं हूं, आत्मिक हीलर हूं मैं. So that is the second belt. The Jyoti started coming into second belt. Now, months passed, years passed. Then a situation came where I enrolled myself as a Sevadal. I wanted to go and do Seva in Puttaparthi, but still I was not convinced. And all through my Seva, I was posted as a Sevadal in the Mandir. My first and foremost objective was to see how Sai Baba manifests. Where is he pulling it from? Is he pulling it from his sleeves? Is he pulling it from his bag? Is it pulling it from where it is? And my dear sisters and brothers, you won't believe me, I spent 15 days for Seva, and every day Baba will come to me near and manifest something or the other. Sometimes it is ring, sometimes it is vibhuti, sometimes it is sweet meat or whatever. And every time, in the name of service, I will try to, from the corner of my eye, and working with the very egoistic MNC, I know the scientific thing more than a spiritual thing kind of a feel. I used to look at where is he pulling it from? Where is he pulling it from? There came a day, this was on 13th of August 1999, when Baba walked across. That was the day the Nepal Prime Minister has come. There are two Nepalis sitting there in the row where I was doing my seva. Swami came near him and then told them, Tumhara Prime Minister aaya, mujhe jana hai jaldi. Then he manifested something. I again tried to look at him, and Baba manifested Vibhuti and wanted to give that Nepal devotees who are 2 rows away. Baba stretched, and in the process, he put one of his hand on my shoulder to balance himself. At the time also, I was trying to say, this is the right time for me to look at it, how he pulls out. Baba manifested, gave it to him. I was confused as always. Baba looked at me, kya? Kabhi nahi samjhoge. Surrender ho jao. Walked away. And that's the third stage of my melting. Then slowly, steadily, in South India, we have this beautiful habit of trying to please Bhagavan, God every way. आधा किलो दूध डाल दो, एक पाव मक्खन डाल दो, थोड़ा से कॉकटेल करने के लिए थोड़ा हनी भी डाल दो बीच में. Maybe Bhagavan will be push, or see when that any flower or anything falling from the photo or something, just wait for some time. Now from this kind of a practice, or chant something 108 times, you may lose the count, but name it as 108 times. It went on, going on and on. But when I started getting into this Swami's mode, the first thing I realized is when you do the service, when you go and do the seva, even you pretend to be doing a seva, even if you are going to do with a completely different approach that you are not wanting to serve, but you want to publicize, still you are getting melted. In fact, once Satya Sai Baba was talking to somebody and I was sitting right next. Swami looked at me and asked, hey, kya deta mujhe? I said, Swami, main jaan dunga aapke liye. Swami said, hey, idiot, I don't want your dead body. What will I do with your dead body? I have to cremate or bury it before it becomes an environmental hazard. By living, what can you give it to me? How can you live peacefully within you? Tell me that, and walked away. That was the first day my pride of intellectuality was slapped, whatever little I believed I had. And then come my walk into the service path. There is a beautiful story. There are 3 friends who studied together, who progressed in their life in 3 different directions. They met after 25 years. One of them had a 100-floor building. They said, come on, let's meet, let's chat today. Let's have a good, nice thinking. So they went near there. When they went to that building, power went off. So they said the lift was not working. So all the three decided we are meeting after 25 years. Let's climb up the 100 stairs. I have a penthouse on the 100th floor. Let's go up. So the first friend started narrating his life story. They crossed 35 floors. The second friend started narrating his story. They crossed 70 floors. The final friend started narrating his story with the owner of the understory building. They reached the 99th floor. When he completed the story, he waited. He reached the 100th floor. He sat down. Everybody asked, hey, what happened? He said, yeah, chavi gaadi mein reh gaya. Mera floor ka chavi gaadi mein reh gaya. This is precisely the crux. You can do any amount of dhyan, any amount of meditation, any amount of chanting, any amount of prayer. But if you are not fortunate to go and serve a needy soul, either by heart or by body or by feeling or by any holiest dispassionate means, then you are actually distracted from the main path of what you want to achieve in your life, is what Baba taught me in a very different way to the minutest of my smallest wisdom. Being a South Indian, we always have this habit of, whenever we write something, we put Om on the top. That Om is put in Tamil. So I am a very ardent follower of my mother, and I pray goddess called Sengalakshi Amman. And when I moved from north to south to north, I don't know Hindi, even though my Hindi is not that good. Hopefully everybody will understand. I can speak. I don't know how many people will rightly understand that. That confidence is not with me. One day it so happened that I kept on writing, and I used to write that goddess name is Sengalakshi Amman. So in Tamil, Sengalakshi Amman Tunai means goddess be with me always. That is the meaning of it. So I used to write in English S-A-T, Sengalakshi Amman Tunai. Then when I got into Baba's fold, I started, okay, why should I disconnect that Amman, that goddess, and why should I antagonize Swami? Let me add a Sai also with that. When I added S-A-T to S-A-I, it became Sat Sai. That I realized after 2 years. So, these are minutes of things Mohan makes us to do. Once I was traveling in Africa, I was at the time reading Satcharita. I was very scared. Went to Djibouti, a place where there is a lot of war used to happen, and 1 kg of bullets were sold for $10. Where one of an Indian origin gentleman came and picked me, and I'm a pure vegetarian. I don't even touch egg. So I was worried about my food. So we had a meeting with the business client. The client said, you seem to be a good man. I have an Indian. He will take you and make you eat at his house. So this gentleman came, picked me, took me to his house, and he fed me sambar and rasam that day. And that day, I was reading my Satcharita. In the Satcharita, Shirdi Satcharita, it is written, Swami says in one of the chapter, whomever I loves, I remain there ahead of him. And when I went to his house, the first thing I looked at is Shirdi Baba's biggest photo, where deep down in Africa, in West Africa, unexpectedly, it is giving such a kind of jitters in the body. And the day when I'm having my food and after reading my Satcharita, this chapter is coming on that day. So the connect of Bhagwan from X to Y to Z is always remains at any and every point of time, is time and again reaffirmed. And today we know that Satya Sai Baba is not there physically. So many a time I myself had that question. When Baba passed away physically, I was told to bring Ganga and Yamuna Jal from Delhi. And the Ganga and Yamuna Jal is supposed to be taken in a flight. This was supposed to be taken by one more gentleman. That gentleman could not make it because the mud, 10 kgs of mud and 10 liters of water, when it was coming from Gadbuteshwar, got stuck in the road. So without my knowledge, it was delivered to my house at 10 o'clock in the night. So when I came back from Satya Sai Central Lodi Road, when I reached home, 10 kgs of mud and 10 liters of water greeted me, saying that, okay, you have to take it in the morning. I was scared. Many times we don't fear the God, but we fear the God-man. The people who are around the God is always fearful. I was worried about what people will feel if I cannot take it to Puttaparthi. My wife has got it packed in the meantime. In my utter disgust, I was shouting at Baba, how can you do this to me? Somebody's coming and dropping 10 kg sand and 10 liter of water at my house. How will I take it? Where is the possibility of me taking it? What is it you have done? And at one point of time, I gave up the hope. I was about to sleep. Then I realized there is a pilot in my society, Indigo pilot. I was taking the Indigo flight next day morning. And I tried to call him. He's a social friend of his, Sardarji, Manjit Singh, Captain Manjit Singh. I don't even know him very well. I used to shake hands with him in the social parties, hi and hello. So I told him, sir, this is the reason. Sadguru ka kaam hai, aap other kar sakta. He said, Venkatesh, I'm very sorry. The flight is not under our control. The flight is already in the airport's control. I can't promise you. Already I'm having holidays at Nangal. I'm not even in Delhi. I don't think I can help you. So I lost my last hope. I said, okay, I've at least tried. Morning at best, we won't be able to check in. If I check it, it won't be checked in as a hand baggage. It can't be put into the luggage. The water will spill over. So I was in a biggest dilemma. But all my tiredness, I slept. But after some time, I realized that I normally don't keep my mobile on a vibrating mode, because at that time in 2011, Nokia mobiles, if you put in vibrating mode, the battery used to run away. But I don't know how it turned into vibrating mode. The mobile came and hit my chin when I was sleeping. I woke up, I found that somebody's calling me. I picked up the phone. This gentleman was there, Captain Manjit Singh. He said, listen, I could find the pilot of the morning flight which you're traveling. You request him. I can't request him. You request him. He also happened to be a Sardaji. I requested him. He said, listen, I cannot promise you. You bring it, let me see. I had one more morale boost. Okay, I have tried genuinely. Now I don't have to feel guilty about it. Morning I woke up, 10 kilo of mud, 10 liter of water and my luggage. I don't know how I lifted all alone from my house to the security gate. It is almost a kilometer. After that, 4 people lifted and put it in the car. So we went to the airport. I was trying to dial this gentleman. In the night, during my drowsiness, I noted his number seemed to be wrong. So I was not connecting him at all. I thought this gentleman has given me a false promise and vanished. At one point of time, I was just thinking, kept on dialing him, and I felt he picked up. I said, hello. He's just standing 1 meter away from me. Hello. And before I even asked him, he said, are you Venkatesh? I said, yes. He was very angry. I'm waiting for you last 20 minutes. You're coming late. I'm getting late. Give me what you're bringing me. He did not open and see. He took it and straight took it into the cockpit. Now the story starts here actually. Flight took off. Flight landed in Bangalore. I was so happy. I was feeling like I've given a Paramveer Chakra for having performed something, carrying water by flight without even a ticket and without even a check-in, and managed to do something. Bingo, come on. This is it. I ran the moment flight landed and came to the bay. I ran. I went to tell the aerosters that, listen, I've got my packets of water and thing I need to pick up. Tell the pilot I need it. The pilot sent a message, asked the gentleman to sit calm, idle for some time. So he allowed all the passengers to get down. After the last passenger got down, the pilot came out, the co-pilot came out, the crew came out. There are totally 9 or 10 of them. They stood in a line. And here is me, who's going and trying to grab that package from their hands. The packet moved from one hand to the other hand, to the other hand, to the other hand, to the last hand. And it was given to me. When they gave it to me, what they told me was, "Aapki Sadguru ki charanon mein hamara pyar ko chada dena." When I received it, I was shaking with shame. 20 years I've been going to Swami. I didn't have the trust and belief that if he has chosen me to do something, he will find a way to get it done. Whereas I was hopeless the previous day night. Look at these. They have not even seen whose Baba is. Look at these people. They might have heard about Baba, but look at the way. Look at their love. Look at the way they gave it to me. Yad bhavam tad bhavati. The way they gave it to me. From there, I came to Sai Kulwant Hall and gave it to the concerned. And next day, when Baba's body was interred, I was called to put a handful of vibhuti and kukum into it. It's a history. But the point here is, do Baba need me to pray him daily? No. Baba need me to live with the feeling that he is with me. He is ever with me. He is going to be with me. He can't be with me. He has to be with me. And there was a time in Puttaparthi, I would narrate a very, very small incident which taught me what life is all about and what is the grace and kindness of divinity is all about. There is a security guard who used to be in Puttaparthi. In Puttaparthi ashram, they are paid to the extent they need. The security guard, in his utter poverty, stole half bag of rice, which was kept for some other purpose, another. He took it and went. He reached his home. Next day morning, it was found that the security is stolen, so they sacked him. He was taken out of the job. 4th day, Satya Sai Baba came out, and in Puttaparthi, nothing escaped his eye. He came, he asked, where is that security? People said, Swami, we removed him. He did a theft, we removed him. Swami said, oh, okay, right. Swami didn't say anything. Went 10 steps, came back and said, then remove me also. Everybody was shocked. Everybody started trembling. Swami, what are you saying? Remove me. Yes, when he was lifting the bori, the weight of the bori was so heavy on him, he kept Sai Ram, Sai Ram, Sai Ram, and kept moving around. So I was also party to his sin. If he is guilty, I'm equally guilty, not able to stop him. That time, Swami made a beautiful statement. Sai ki sango mein kabhi saja nahi hai. Sai sahi hi kar sakta. Saja kabhi nahi ho sakta. Sahi hi kar sakta. That, when I heard this is the karuna of a Bhagwan. This is the karuna. Even a guna is converted into a punya by the grace of divinity. This is way. I'm reminded of a very Kannaiya se ek baar pucha gaya Krishna Bhagwan se, घर पे मिश्री है, घर पे चॉकलेट है, घर पे दूध है, दही है, माखन के पीछे क्यों भाग रहे हो कन्हैया? माखन में ऐसे क्या है? And this comes in a beautiful bhajan by Anup Jalota. माखन में माँ शब्द समाहित, इसीलिए मोहे वाहे, जब जब लगे मेरे होठों से तेरी याद दिलाने मैया. The way Krishna put it, he didn't say I stole the makan. He said I want to remain my mom, so I went behind the makan. That is what God is. That is what divinity is. That is what, somebody said few years back, one gentleman came from New Zealand. He sat before Satya Sai Baba. Baba came before him. The moment Baba came before him, he closed his eyes and prayed. Baba said, hey, you came all the way in the flight, all the way in the train, all the way in the car to reach Kulwant Hall to have a darshan of me. When I'm standing before you, you are closing your eyes and praying. What is the point? You could have very well sat there and prayed. You spent lakhs of money to reach here, but when I'm standing before you, are closing your eyes. This precisely happened to us, the dearest brothers and sisters. We feel that God is someone who's sitting in a 4G, 5G sort of environment with full of ACs and this, and he will click one button, things will happen. You click another button, things will not happen. He will click a third button, things will neither happen nor happen. We get into this midway path. I just want to share a final experience. During this COVID times, we had immense experiences coming across. There is some Narayan Seva which we undertook in Dwarka. There is some other Seva which we undertook in various other places. Obviously, everybody in my house used to be scared. Don't step out. Don't step out. You will be caught. You will be caught. So I once asked within me to Bhagavan, Swami, am I so vulnerable that if I go and serve, I will be stuck? Bhagavan in the dream came and told, the moment you have decided to serve, that itself you are surrendered to me. After that, I am responsible for you. You are no one. You are in my hands. You are in my position. You are in my possession. So not to worry. Go ahead and serve. Keep serving people. Service, serve and be at ease is service. Be remain, keep serving him, keep serving anyone, and that result, that impact will carry you immensely, immensely, immensely across births. And I'm still reminded the beautiful thing which keeps pepping me. When Mahatma Gandhi was shot dead in 1948, Winston Churchill was asked by a journalist, so, Mr. Churchill, what does your feel about this? Mr. Churchill, with the tears in his eyes, told, 60 years we protected a person who protested against us. We know he's the guy. We know he's the person who is against us. Hey, Indians, you can't protect him for 60 months. You lost him within 6 months. I'm just correlating this to the other one. We have lived in a time where divinity has completely prevailed in India in various forms. It could be Satya Sai Baba, it could be Mata Amrutananda Mai, it could be Ramana Maharishi, it could be Arvind Ashram, it could be Ramakrishna Paramahamsa, it could be Vivekananda. Let me finish by saying in one word, there is a beautiful antidote. If you have to make a call to heaven from US, it costs you $100. If you want to make a call to hell from Europe, it costs you 100 euros. If you want to connect with divinity in India, it costs you a local call, because this land is a land of divinity. This land is a land of that powerful prayer, that powerful love. That is why the whole world was taught how to protest in a ahimsic way, without taking a weapon in hand, without taking any kind of a thing, any kind of a negative thing, still express your displeasure. And my dear brothers and sisters, let me conclude with a shloka from Saundra Lagari, where Adi Shankaracharya mentioned, if Mataji comes before me, how will I pray her? Jabo jalpa shilpam sakalam abhimudra virajana Ghati pradakshanya kramana mashana javidiyutihi Pranama samvesha sukamakila matmarpana trisha Shaparya paryayas tava bhavatu yanme vilasitam. Hema, let all my breath be an agruti in the yajna of your grace. May all our walking be the parikrama of the universe which you have created. May all our thought be the archana at your holiest feet. May all my action be that abhishek at your holiest feet. At the end of it all, may all our intent, may all our expectation, and may all our desires be your own grace. Om Sai Ram. I've shared whatever little I can to the best of my wisdom, and I leave it to the holiest grace of Bhagwan and the beautiful, loving sisters and brothers to take it. And if I mention anything wrong, I seek your forgiveness. Om Sai Ram.